Hello, hello. It's Business Partner, Unit 5, Logistics. Oh, it's level B1 plus, intermediate, high intermediate. Good. It's lesson 5.3, Communication Skills, Part B. We have already seen last week the video in which Matt talks to Raj, and he gets to know that a deadline won't be met. He's really disappointed, he isn't happy, and Stephanie suggests that Matt talks to their boss or to Raj's boss, and well, things go well in the end, but depending on whether you chose option A or B for the results, Matt was more direct or indirect to deal with the situation. Remember, Raj is from India. There are cultural issues. Stephanie is from Germany. That tends to be a bit more direct. And Matt is from England. So we saw it and it was really interesting. Today, we are going to see and learn more about agreeing and disagreeing. Because when someone doesn't do something that we really want and need, especially something that was agreed on, we can get uneasy with that. And how do you agree and disagree with someone? There are many ways and there are many sentences. Well, we have this first exercise about that because it's a function that is very important, learning to agree and disagree with someone. Well, basically, we have here some sentences of direct disagreement. That's rubbish. Nonsense. That's nonsense. I don't agree at all with that. I'm afraid I disagree. You agree that these are direct disagreements. But I ask you, do you think that it's okay to use these sentences if you are colleagues or if you are from different companies and you want to keep a very good relationship between you and the other person? Do you really think so? Well, because of this, it's very common in English when you don't know the person very well or when the environment is very formal to express doubt. And you express doubt to suggest your option, your opinion. And then you talk about your opinion. You disagreed with the person because you are expressing your position. And then maybe the person agrees with you or shows disagreement again, but maybe using this style here, and then you get an agreement, you reach an agreement. How to agree directly, how to express doubt, because we have already seen some ways you can disagree with the other person. We have these 6 options here, and we have 3 more here. For direct agreement, I completely agree with you. To express doubt, that might work, that might not work. I'm not sure that's the best solution. If you say so, you are expressing doubt, but you are showing that you disagree, basically, right? It's easy to see that you disagree. Let's see the other sentences. I know they're right, but it is good, yes, but Do you think their sentences about agreeing or expressing doubt? That would be a good solution. That makes sense. Good thinking. That one way, that's one way of looking at it. But you see, so 1, 2, and 6 are basically ways to express doubt. And 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5 are sentences that show direct agreement. Easy. I believe that you got that from the word but that we have here. We don't have but here, so that might work. We use this modal verb, might, to express possibility, but not a very strong possibility, but a weak one. I'm not sure you're expressing doubt. It's easy to see, right? Good. Look here. Look at part B. In the video, the speakers communicated disagreement using expressions of doubt, not expressions of direct disagreement. Why do you think they did this? Does this happen in your own language? Well, as we talked about this, as we talked earlier, basically it could cause offense in formal situations. Imagine Raj is from India, a different country, different point of view, and Matt says, I don't agree with that. It isn't polite. Did you see how Raj was polite on disagreeing from Matt? It was interesting to see that. And then they could end up by reaching an agreement, right? Do you remember that? So express doubt if you don't know the person very well, and you will be able to express your point of view. That's the hint that this communication skill is about. Do you remember here? We are practicing collaboration, collaborating, and then we are aware of different ways to collaborate with other people, and we can use a range of phrases for agreeing and disagreeing. And remember, in a formal environment, it might be better to express doubt instead of a direct disagreement. Look at exercise 8, part A. We have these exchanges between a manager and an employee. Rewrite what the employee says so that it doesn't sound so direct. Well, the employee wants to keep the job, right? So let's respect the manager. Look at number 1 here. Look at number 1. We are very busy. We need to cancel all the staff holidays in August. And the employee, the person says, I don't agree at all. Maybe this person would go to a beach holiday in August and is really unhappy with that decision from the manager. But by answering, I don't agree at all, he is not very respectful, don't you agree? But the idea of this exercise is to try to rewrite that so it doesn't sound so direct. I don't agree with that. I don't agree at all. Could be changed by I'm not sure it's the best solution. Right? So it's not disrespectful and might bring a dialogue or would make the dialogue to continue, and the employee could suggest something. Well, my point of view, look at 2. I think we should outsource the IT department. I'm afraid I disagree. What's the idea of outsourcing? Well, like hiring another company to provide the IT services. It could be a solution. But look, I'm afraid I disagree. It's a bit too direct. Let's see another option. I know that IT staff are expensive, but they are also very good at their jobs. So it might open a better discussion in which the manager would say, yes, but it's too expensive, the costs, and then the employee, the guy, could suggest something better than simply saying, I don't agree. It usually closes the conversation, right? Karine is the best person to negotiate with these clients. And the employee says, that's nonsense. Oh, that sounds rude, doesn't it? You are talking to your friend, your colleague from your soccer team, your football team. It's okay during a game, but come on. An employee to the manager, is that okay? Does it sound okay for you? Why doesn't he say simply, that might not work? Maybe there's a reason it wouldn't work, and the manager can't see at the moment. So you go and say something that doesn't close the conversation, because the manager is the manager. You see, you should obey, but you don't have to. You can have your own point of view. So what do? You express doubt, and you have a chance to express your better opinion about the situation. That's the point, because managers don't have all the answers in the world. Or maybe you are a manager, and if the person expresses doubt, it's much easier to listen further from the person than if the person sounds disrespectful, right? Yes, but here in part B, we should choose one of these three situations and continue the dialogue until you reach an agreement. And look, it's so nice when you find that, an agreement. So the idea, you disagree or you express doubt, that is something kind of disagreeing lightly, and then you, oops, what have I done? And then, well, we can use phrases from exercise 7a to go further in the conversation and reach an agreement if possible. Well, let me keep it here. And look, I'll give you an example for all these sentences, all these dialogues. So I hope I'm helpful for you. But why don't you pause and think? Think about something for you to express doubt and offer a second point of view to your manager. Right? Let's go. 1. We are very busy. We need to cancel all staff holidays in August. Then the employee, instead of saying, I don't agree at all, the person says, I'm not sure that's the best solution. Why not? The manager would ask. And then you say, people might not be happy. Many of them have booked and paid for holidays. I know they have, but we need them. That's one way of looking at it. But we could find some temporary staff. Oh, that's good thinking. You see, people can go to the beach, the work can be done, everybody's happy, right? So you could find a solution for the problem. or the employee could. Look at the second situation. We have here, I think we should outsource the IT department. Instead of saying, I'm afraid I disagree, the employee could say, I know the IT staff are expensive, but they are also very good at their jobs. They are good, yes, but the costs are very high, the manager would say. And then you could complete. I know you're right, but we could discuss these with the IT manager, don't you agree? And then the manager would say, that makes sense. You see? And you are earning points with your manager. If you disagree directly, you probably are not going to earn points. You are going to lose points, maybe. Look at the third situation. Karin is the best person to negotiate with these clients. That's nonsense. Okay, you can disagree, but is that okay to disagree that way? Why don't you try something more polite? Let's try. Karin is the best person to negotiate with these clients. That might not work. Why not? Because she doesn't speak very good English. Let's send Patricia with her. That would be a good solution. You see, so your manager can possibly agree with you if you express doubt, and then the manager asks you why you don't agree, because this is what you're showing, and then you express your point of view. Imagine, Karin is the best person to negotiate with these clients. Why don't you take Patricia with her? Why don't you send Patricia with her? It's about a bit too direct, isn't it? So you express doubt, then the manager asks why, and then you express your opinion. It's very respectful and can work and build good relations. And this is very good to keep jobs, right? Okay, we have an extra activity, and I'm going to show you what it is. What is it about? We have these sentences about this functional language on agreeing, disagreeing, and showing doubt. But we have an extra word in each phrase. I'm going to read the sentence. Why don't you try to find the solution, though the extra word, and then I'll tell you. I am completely agree with you. I am completely agree, or I completely agree with you. That's it, right? I completely agree with you. All right. Look at the second one. That would be a good solution. That would to be a good solution. Wow, that's strange. Do you know Hamlet? A good solution to be or not to be a good solution? This is the question. Wow, that's crazy, isn't that? No, but here we start with that would be a good solution. So you don't have these words to here. That would be, because after the modal verb would, you don't have an infinitive with to. We have the infinitive without to, right? That would be a good solution. 3, that makes the sense. What's wrong here? What's extra here? That makes sense, right? That makes sense, makes much more sense than that makes the sense. Good you're thinking. The thinking can be good, but you don't say good you're thinking. You could say your thinking is good, but it doesn't sound natural. It wouldn't be wrong, but it wouldn't be natural. But good thinking is a very natural way of talking about this or to agree, right? That's one way of looking for at it. Don't you think there's an extra preposition here? That one, that one way of, that's one way of looking for at it. For is the extra word, right? Because you look at something. That's one way of looking at it, right? He don't might not react well. When you have a modal verb, do you use the auxiliary verb? Do? And he don't or he doesn't? Might not. I would say that there are two extra words here. He might not react well. So these are two words, okay, Pearson? Not one extra word. There are two, though not. But that's okay. I'm not sure that's the best situation, the best solution. Well, you already have the negative word here, not, and then you have the word no here. I'm not sure is very common. So I'm not sure that's the best solution. All right? I'm sure no isn't the best word here. So you don't say, I'm sure it isn't. No, I'm not sure no is the best word here. So you remove no. That's a nonsense. No, you don't say that way. You say, that's nonsense. I don't agree at all. Oh, no, I don't agree with that. So you say, I don't agree at all. No way in which I could agree with that. So that's a very emphatic sentence. I'm afraid I am disagree. Oh, you already have verb to be here. I'm afraid I disagree. It's polite, right? But maybe you should suggest, you should use another kind of sentence, a sentence to express doubt instead of showing that you disagree. But this is it. Then we have exercise 9, the final task of the lesson. Very interesting, by the way, because you work in a team and different people have different ideas. Look at these people. They're wearing formal clothes. Very formal, don't you agree? And now you can strongly disagree with me. All right, he's wearing a t-shirt. He isn't wearing a gown shirt. No. And, well, the point is that they are going to disagree. And we are going to be these people. Look, work in groups of 4, if possible. If it's a private lesson, it's very hard to work in 4s. Don't you agree? 2 of you are pair A, 2 of you are pair B, because we have 2 groups here. Look at the agenda for your department's meeting. This is the agenda. And prepare your arguments for the points you agree and disagree with. Very nice activity. Look, you agree with items 1 and 3 and disagree with items 2 and 4. That's, you see, it's a polarized situation here. You agree with items 2 and 4 and disagree with 1 and 3. Oh, well, if you are 2 people, why don't you try to agree on the topics and disagree on the other ones together to develop arguments And then after working on these two options, you could be one person against the other one. For example, here, working hours. The proposal is to start work at 8:30 a.m. and finish half an hour earlier than now. But if this is starting earlier, you could give the argument that if it's very hard for people that have children at school if the school starts at 8:30 or if the school starts at 9, okay? So depending on that, it would be very hard for someone with children at school. That's the point. You have to agree or disagree. You can have an argument to agree with that. Oh, you could leave the children earlier. You could send the children by bus or something like that, school bus. Maybe, I don't know. So you bring your arguments. Look at 2. Lunch breaks. Proposal to have 2 shifts for lunch. 12 to 1 and 1 to 2. Oh, I wouldn't like to wait until 1 p.m. to go for lunch. So I would disagree with that. How would I say? Well, I could only agree with that if we had some break during the morning, so I can bring banana with oat or other something as a snack. Otherwise, I'm going to faint before 1 o'clock. But I have to disagree politely, express doubt, and then point out my point of view. Okay? Dress code. Proposal to ban trainers and t-shirts in the office. Why is that? Okay, it's a very serious environment, right? Yes. But look, you don't talk to clients outside the company. And then why not trainers and t-shirts? But the point is that you have to create your own disagreement sentence, argument, right? This was only an example. Languages. Proposal that all staff have an intermediate level in 2 foreign languages. 2 foreign languages. I don't know where you live, but in Brazil, having a second language is very hard. So asking or demanding for everybody in the office to have 2 foreign languages at intermediate level, I think it's a bit too much. But this is about Brazil. What about your country? But look, remember, you have to agree with these proposals depending on what pair you are. I only disagreed with these sentences and I gave my opinions. But during the part B, during part B, look, we have to hold our meetings and we have to explain why you agree or disagree with each point and try to use phrases from 7a. What does it mean? It means that we have to express doubt instead of being rude by showing direct disagreement. That's what we have to do, okay? And in C, which pair presented the strongest argument? You can express a strong argument politely. Remember that. You don't have to be, oh, I think this way. Oh. No, you can express strong arguments if you are polite. And who disagreed directly most often during the meeting? Avoid that. Try to be polite by expressing doubt before you express your argument. And finally, who expressed doubt most often? That's the idea. We are going to practice this, showing politely our point of view. How did you like the lesson? How did you like the video? Why don't you like the video, subscribe for the channel, because we are finishing lesson 5.3. We had part A last video, and then it was part B now of lesson 5.3 from unit 5 of Business Partner B1 Plus. Hope you like it. There's much more in the future, so be here for the next videos. Bye bye.